Yeah, there we go. What up, everybody? It is time. I know the number's backwards. We're trying Skype today again to see if this is a better. What the fuck? A better video format than Zoom. We shall see. So we're waiting for Carrie and Roger and possibly Nice to pop in and say what up. Until then, I would invite you to roll the fuck up. Beef, what up? Too fast, what up, homie? Desi, what up, yo? Football season is literally right around the corner. I'm fucking hyped. While we're waiting for our esteemed co-host, if you guys would like to join our Gray Matter Fantasy League and our NFL Pick'em League, let me know and I will send you the links to join. There are still some open spots and we still got a week before draft day and the season begins. Now what's funny is we're going to have our Gray Matter Fantasy Draft live next week on Gray Matter. It should be hysterical if you ask me. Desi, email me. It's joetheengineer@gmail.com. Email me so I can send you the links. It's free. Whoever wins is going to win some shit. Unless it's me, because I'm not going to give myself hoodies or something. But I am the two-time defending champion. Looking for a three-peat. I'm the Michael Jordan of the Gray Matter fantasy world. Can I go full screen? Is this not full screen? Doesn't look like it. So, until we get our esteemed co-host to pop in, see, this is what I already don't like about using Skype. It's taking over control of my quick keys. That sucks. Just have to do it this way. While we wait for the homies, listen to some music. That's what we always do. I suppose I could just do it. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright. We'll play some, while you wait, I'll play some previews of me and Billy Lyons, what we've been working on.
Spartans! What is your profession?
You. Yes, sir. It's, uh, yes. Yeah. Well, no, I see 47. Ah, so I see myself backwards. So, yeah.
There we go. Nice was performing live on a float in the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
A word?
Yeah, you ain't see the video. Sorry guys, you should hear me now.
Nah, I gotta see this.
Yeah, it's on his Instagram, man. I was dying.
I gotta see this.
So funny. But anyway, yeah, it's got me backwards. Yo, on YouTube, is my number 47 or is it 74? I don't know. They'll let me know. Anyway, football's almost here, homie.
Baker got that job to be expected.
We knew that was going to happen. What was I just about to say before we jump into all the happenings? I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, I just told Colton. ESPN has season-long NFL pick and eliminator games that are free. That the winner gets $1 million. So you might want to jump on those. Because we're usually pretty right about these games. And, dude, you get 5 entries to start the season with. So you get 5 different ways to run your season on game picks. So,
Right.
I mean, it's ESPN. There's going to be a billion fucking people, but they're free. Who cares, dude?
Yeah, well.
And they got a Monday night pick 'em too. That's only Monday night games, and then a bunch of questions. It's like, it's like 100,000 every Monday night. These are all free. That's why I keep trying to tell people. There's so many free NFL things to get money on that you don't have to actually spend money. It's hilarious. Yeah, so I am backwards. That's hilarious. So shout out to Skype for that one.
This is funny because on Skype, you're not.
But you are.
Oh, yeah. Like, as I look at you, 47 all day, everything's looking straight.
Hilarious. Anyway, let's get into some goings-ons while we wait to see if Roger pops in. Let's talk about some people who earned themselves some jobs. Baker Mayfield, starting quarterback. Now we see why, in the long term for this season, it was a good idea to keep Sam Darnold on the roster because Matt Corral's out for the year with a Linz Frank injury.
Really?
Yeah, so your QB3 goes out. Now Darnold has to be your backup.
Ah, look at that.
See how that worked out for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that Cleveland and Carolina play in week 1, and the majority of the money is on the Panthers right now because everybody thinks Baker's going to come out and have a revenge game, which I do too. That's just football. And don't sleep. The Panthers aren't a bad team. They just have not had a good quarterback at all.
Yes, which I've been saying since last season. But Baker also is a notorious slow starter. So, and are they playing at home or on the road?
Carolina.
New team, new fans. Even though he's been doing a good job endearing himself to the fan base. Huh.
It's an interesting pick because if it was in Cleveland, I'd definitely go with Baker because that's a revenge game all day. And he's the type of athlete who would go and have...
Oh, yeah, because he would feed off of the boos.
Yeah, he would have a career game in that game.
But see, getting boos in Carolina will hit different because he wants this fan base to like him.
Yeah, so interesting on that one. Punt returner for the Cowboys who just had a kick return and a punt return in the same game. I don't care if it's preseason or not. That's retarded.
I know. That little mother.
There's returners who go their whole career and don't get a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown in the NFL.
Devin Hester shouted him out.
So, a little background on this kid. Had a domestic violence case in college and got kicked off the team.
Where'd he go?
I can't remember. I think
it a Power 5 though?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Of course. And then he's been in 5 different leagues in 5 years.
Okay.
Including Poland.
Whatever it takes.
And then the short USFL that happened.
Yes. The short. Yeah.
He was only a kick returner and was the league MVP. So that tells you how busy he was getting. The domestic violence issues are what has clouded his career because he had one in college, and then during that 5-year span, he's had another one. So, and it was the one in college, he beat up his girlfriend. And you know the league does not like that. Ray Rice.
Lawrence Phillips.
Although Kareem Hunt did get a pass somehow.
Kareem Hunt got a pass.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, more than Kareem Hunt got a pass.
Well, I mean, what was homie who picked his girl up and suplexed her onto a bed of assault rifles? Randy Gregory, was it him?
Was it him?
He played for the Cowboys. I do know that. And then he went and fought in the UFC.
Oh no, that was Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy. I knew it was a Greg somewhere, not Gregory.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy.
Randall Gregory just likes to cheap it up.
Okay, yeah, completely different things.
Yeah. Greg Hardy, he liked to beat. And that was the problem because Greg Hardy and Ray Rice were around the same time. If Greg Hardy's thing was ever videotaped, Ray Rice would have played 2 to 3 more years in the league.
Yeah, Ray Rice.
And Greg Hardy would have gone to prison.
And it's not like Ray Rice was a bum either, so it was odd to see him.
He was having a down season, and so this was just like the tipping point. They were like, well, and a running back.
Yeah. So Jesse Bates has decided to come back to camp to the Bengals and not hold out anymore. Will play on this 5th-year tender, and then go from there. So, dude. Anytime that you can get paid, which your 5th year is going to be the most your salary is going to be by far, and then you get to negotiate a year further in the future in the NFL is a good thing because every single fucking year, that salary cap is just skyrocketing. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Especially with all these streaming, TV, all these damn deals, people just throwing money.
So speaking of that, Amazon now has Thursday Night Football.
Right.
But it was on Prime. It's not only on Prime anymore. They are now going to be able to be played in all bars and restaurants in the country.
Good.
So, because bars and restaurants are like, well, what if we don't have Prime? Because you can't, as a business, you couldn't have Prime.
Right.
So now they made a deal so where they'll be able to stream in bars and restaurants who are going to have to pay us a different rate, obviously, because it's now a business rate.
Oh, so they wouldn't let them have Prime so that just like a whole bunch of customers were like, I'm just going to go to the bar and watch Amazon.
Well, because it's not just that. It's just bars pay a different rate for music and stuff like that. And there's only a certain library that they can play from, even though it's massive. They just play the same thing that radio stations do. They play a flat rate that gets distributed to everybody that they play. Same thing with like TV and whatnot. It's not like when our dads were going to bars and they would just have whatever on TV and somebody at the bar would have the remote.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
bars have a different rate that they pay for pay-per-views also because it's a business.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're doing the same thing with Prime for them because now they can have access to Thursday night games.
Why it doesn't make sense for certain spots to get you, especially when we're talking about UFC. So it's just not, they can't guarantee that they'll get enough business to justify paying like $2,500.
Yeah.
Just Conor McGregor break his leg.
Exactly. Mike Tyson knocked somebody out in 19 and a half seconds. Yeah, something stupid like that. So good for the Bengals. Jesse Bates coming back. That's an all-pro safety. Good for him too. I'm telling you, these contracts. That Amazon deal was something like $4 billion or something. Dude, the money that's coming into the NFL now, especially since the Waltons bought the Broncos, the NFL is taking a step forward with who is buying teams.
As they should.
Yeah. The biggest businesses outside of soccer teams on the planet right now.
Ooh.
So, now, speaking of returning to the fold, we have got to talk about this. Tom Brady left camp for 11 days.
Yes. Where did he go on, the Masked Singer?
So that's why we have to talk about it. That's the rumors that he actually had a gig with the Masked Singer, and which is hilarious. I thought the worst because he just left camp and there was like silence, and I was just like, "Yo, his mom," because remember she had cancer.
Oh yeah.
And she's got to be up there. My parents are 80.
Yeah.
My dad's I think he's 80 this year, so he's got to be up there. So I was just like, oh no, this can't be good, because why would he just leave camp? And then the Masked Singer thing came out, and I was just like, oh no, it's something retarded. So apparently it wasn't the Masked Singer. He retired and then scheduled a vacation, a family vacation.
Oh.
And then when he decided he was going to come back, Giselle was just like, oh hell no. We are going on this motherfucking vacation.
Yeah, so it was like, well, I mean, when you look at
it's Tom.
Todd Bowles, who delivered the news, he was like, oh, we talked about it. It was already understood.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's fine.
It's no big deal, because if there's anybody on the planet who could miss camp, it's this guy. Now, so I was thinking about this today. I was listening to this story. If they add an 18th game, you are now seeing the first 1 and 2 games of the season become a little bit expendable.
Sure.
It's not that big, as big a deal as it used to be to lose a game now in the NFL. And I would just like, see, that's why I didn't want them to add games, because it's 16. Every single one mattered.
Game count.
Now, these teams, week 1, if you take a loss, it's just like, meh, whatever. And the players actually think like that. They're just like, yeah, we got 16 games left. And if they add another one, it's going to do the same thing. I'm just like, I know it's Tom.
Them games like preseason, those first 2 games. That's what they're going to do.
I mean, no NFL team will ever go undefeated now as long as they keep adding games. So, like, losing the first game of the season, who cares? Look at last year in our NFL Pick'em. Dude, I had 3 games right in the first week.
I know. Me too.
And then was double digits every single week the rest of the season except 1. And I had 9 that week. So
I missed 1 and then I bombed 1. But then every other week I was crushing it because I made a feverish comeback.
But, we were all wrong in week 1. And then all those teams that lost turned around and made the playoffs anyway. Mm-hmm. The teams that won turned around and ended up being bums. So it was just like, it was really, really weird. It was really weird week 1 last year. And then all of a sudden, when the real NFL season happened, which would be 16 weeks of regular season games, things shook out the way they were supposed to. So, really weird. So, Masked Singer, hilarious. I hope it's true. I hope it's true that he was able to be like, nah, I'm going to go on this show real quick. And they were like, all right.
Hilarious. Well, listen. Honestly, anytime he gives them this year is bonus time because he retired.
Yeah.
So be thankful for any time I give y'all.
So let's talk about the other Tom Brady story in NFL news, and this was huge. Tom Brady has fucked the Raiders franchise in 2 ways that has crippled them forever. First, the Tuck Rule game. And this happened. John Gruden, the Raiders have to hate this man more than anyone.
Probably.
So, Tom Brady was this far away from signing to the Raiders. And Gronk was going to go with him. And Gronk verified all of the facts in the story during the Gronk cast of that last MMA fight, because he's got a deal doing the Gronk cast where you watch the fights along with him.
With him?
And,
Okay.
and he had Dana White on. And Dana White told the story about how he was helping negotiate getting Tom to the Raiders because he's big in Vegas out there.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, yo, I was breaking him out. He's like, Tom was actually looking for houses. We have gotten that far. And then John Gruden put a stop to all of it and said, nope, we're going to stick with the young guy. It killed all of it. And that's who Tom Brady was talking about when he said, you're going to stay with that motherfucker? It was Derek Carr. Yo, John Gruden's the worst thing that ever happened to the Raiders.
I mean, I feel a little way about that because Derek Carr is not a scrub.
No, we've talked about this numerous times.
Yeah. But also, I mean,
You get Tom and Gronk.
you get Tom and Gronk. I mean, if the only thing, because he was a free agent, so you're just signing him on, so you don't have to lose Carr. You still got Waller. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then tell me what defender is not going to want to try to figure out how to get to the Raiders.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you go where Tom's at. He's like LeBron.
Yeah.
Let's go with this guy. We're probably going to win a ring.
Yeah.
So, the fact that Gruden nixed that, and that just pissed Tom off, and look what he goes and does. Goes and gets a ring immediately.
I mean, because when you think about it, you get Tom and you get Gronk. Von Miller doesn't go to the Rams. He'll go to L.A. I mean, he'll go to Vegas.
You know how many people want to go to play in Vegas now? Like, wait a minute, Tom's in Vegas? Oh, yes, I'm out there.
Hell yeah. What? Yeah, that would have changed the West like crazy.
So wild how things in the NFL. First, he was going to Miami. They got the tampering thing. And really, he wanted to go to Vegas. And then Tom's reaction to that was, I know what it's like to not actually be wanted. Throwing shots all types away at Belichick for that one.
Yeah.
So he said when Tampa was the one who said, no, we want you to come down here. He's like, they wanted me. I'm down there. How did nobody... It's Tom fucking Brady. It's like... Him and LeBron have proven that greatness also comes in longevity. Because that's where...
Both have benefited from being in the era where sports science, nutrition has kicked up to a whole nother level.
Dude, when Michael Jordan was in his heyday, he's smoking cigars literally in the locker room and then playing 36 holes of golf before the game. And then...
Hey, baseball players smoke cigarettes?
Yo, the old NFL...
They used to smoke in the dugout.
Yeah, the old...
When they banned that, that's when they went to sunflower seeds and chew.
Yo, the old NFL, they used to, like, drink beers at halftime and shit.
Yeah, straight up.
Now...
You know, formerly Ron Artest used to have Hennessy at halftime.
So now, you got players spending millions of dollars on their diet and their body and their regiment. So things have changed completely. But there's also the greatness factor in the will and the gifts to be great.
Sure.
And then you have to combine it with the work and the discipline. Tom's discipline is next level.
Well, just look at Steph Curry.
Same thing.
His body improved. Okay, like him taking it. If you watch the series, I don't even like to think about when Cleveland they gave up the ghost to Cleveland. If you look at him driving to the basket then versus him driving to the basket, now he was always a good finisher at the rim, but his strength to finish now versus then. Vastly different. Like now, he went in there like, what? I dare you to hit me. Like what?
Well, not only that, he is easily the best conditioned athlete in the NBA. That guy never stops running. He's like a soccer player.
Yeah. He's taken what Reggie Miller did, what Rip Hamilton did, and just taking it to the next level. Like he is not. They've measured that he runs no less than 5 miles a game.
He never stops ever. He never is not moving unless he's shooting.
Yeah.
And he's got the energy drive that Rodman had.
Yep.
Because they used to say the same thing about Rodman. Rodman would literally sprint the entire game, and then after the game, go get on
a bike,
exercise bike, and ride miles, or like go work out. Like just
that's what Steph does.
It's the drive to be great is needed, because some players, they could have the skills and possibly the health longevity, just never wanted to be the greatest.
And if you hear that about the greats of the greats, most of the time, especially this day and age, you hear about them continuing, like the work never stopped. Look at what Kobe did. Kobe was nonstop. People would try to get to the gym early to beat him. He's already finished the workout, sweating. Like, you could not beat him to the gym. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, so you're seeing the longevity factor with these two, and that's why it's kind of like, if LeBron had won a couple more chips, then you could look at it like Tom and Aaron Rodgers with LeBron and Mike. You can be like most accomplished because of the longevity and just the sheer numbers and everything, versus clearly the most talented that we've ever seen, that also was dominant and got multiple chips. You know, and it's just I'm starting to look at LeBron at not on the accomplishment level with championships, but just on the longevity and the sheer numbers and dominance mentally and physically in year 20. He's just like Tom now. He's retarded.
He was still among the best players in the league last year. Even if you factor in the injuries, his body's starting to break down some, but not breaking down to the degree of someone normally of his age and wear and tear.
See, I would actually, now that I think about it, it's tough for me to say shit like this, but I would actually say that LeBron's longevity is actually more impressive than Tom's, because the NFL for the last 10 years, you're not allowed to even look at the quarterback.
That hit the shit out of him.
And he gets the ball away quicker than anybody in history, and his pocket presence is like an alien. Like, he has always been like a magician with just movement without having to look. So he's not really taking a physical toll. Like, LeBron's body is still sprinting and running and jumping and taking fouls and 82.
Start taking hits. People are hitting his ass.
Probably 70 games during the regular season, but you're going to get all those playoff games because he's going to the finals. He's played like 2 extra seasons in his career with playoff games.
Easily.
Same thing with Tom. He's played so many playoff games, he's actually got an extra season under his belt. It's just like,
yeah,
actually 2, because he's like,
well, yeah. I mean, just like if you look at someone like Jerry Rice has numbers, postseason numbers, that are akin to a whole nother season, and a great season at that.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
Yeah, just insanity. So Tom is about, one of the few athletes on the planet who can be like, yo, I'm taking 11 days off. I'll be back. Where are you going? Don't worry about it. I was just like, yo, Tom went to Ibiza, or to hedonism. Him and Giselle went to hedonism, because she is Brazilian.
Yes.
So, school's getting ready to start, so the kids are getting ready to go back to school. Families do take vacations right now. So, looks like it was planned ahead of time, and there was no way he was getting out of it.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
That one off.
The only thing that it could have possibly hurt is early season chemistry between him and Julio Jones. That's it. Took 11 days of work that they would have had between each other and removed it.
Yeah.
It's just timing, though. That's it. It's just timing they have to work out.
Because he's going to give him a good ball. Pause.
Yeah, 100%. And I would expect if the Bucks are in another postseason push and run, for Gronk to show up at the end of the season would not surprise me at all.
Not at all.
But I mean, with Julio there, if everyone in their receiving core stays healthy, they may not need it. Now, The one issue that I'm seeing with the Bucks right now, Kerry, is they might be the team that's gotten hit with the injury bug because they've lost 2 linemen already for the year. And when I saw the second one, I was like, uh-oh, it might be them. Tom's going to look at it and be like, fuck, I shouldn't have came back.
Yeah. This should be a Trask problem.
Yeah, because they probably would have signed Jimmy G if Tom actually left.
Oh.
Which would have been hilarious. But, yeah, that's only 2, but that's 2 on the line. That's not a good thing.
Also, interested to see what kind of running situation they're going to have.
They got playoff Letty and
who's right now Potbelly Lenny, but how about they got Giovanni Bernard still? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 3rd down back though.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least, but you know how he uses his backs. It's like, you know.
Oh, speaking of that, shout out to a very solid career who will go into the Patriots Ring of Honor. James White retired.
Oh, I texted you that.
Yeah, I know. We haven't talked about it on the show.
We hadn't talked about it. Yeah.
Should have won a Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Still holds the Super Bowl record for most catches in a Super Bowl and he was a running back. That's how important a running back who can catch is to Tom.
Absolutely.
It's his biggest weapon. The only reason Gronk became his biggest weapon because Gronk is the most dominant tight end who's ever existed. So, of course, you're going to use him. Tom Brady uses a pass-catching running back more than anyone. And James White was one hell of a pass blocker.
Yes.
So,
like I said, though, as soon as his parents got into that devastating accident, he wasn't the same. And I believe he knew that. I think his heart just wasn't in the game anymore.
It looks like he might stay around the Patriots, though, for the last interview that I saw. So he'll probably get into coaching and whatnot because he is very smart.
Yeah. I can
and
see that.
He's a beloved Patriot. That guy will be
absolutely
loved forever. Even more than because Malcolm Butler has just become a meme play. Malcolm Butler has become one play in Patriots history.
Yeah, I know. He's almost like your Larry. What was his name? The corner, Larry Allen.
No, Larry Brown.
Larry Brown.
Yeah, he's eventually. Malcolm Butler's going to have to in Boston. He's going to have to tell people that he's Malcolm Butler. You'll be like, I'm Malcolm Butler, yo. They're going to be like, oh yeah, you're that one guy from that one play.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh nah, you don't play for the Celtics. You're not a Bo Sox. Get out of here.
Yeah. So great. 8 years for James White. 3 Super Bowls in 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he will, like I said, that's a Ring of Honor player. 3 Super Bowls, you're going to get in there. And they have to give it to him because he didn't get that Super.
Like Shane Vereen.
Yeah, Shane Vereen was the one before him.
He should have stayed.
Yep. I like Shane Vereen. That's the LSU guy.
Yeah. Instead, he came to the G's, which turned out not to be a good move.
Let's talk about your G's for a second.
Oh, how the progeny of Randall Moss tried to destroy the hopes and dreams of people all across the land.
Do you think it was I watched it numerous times because the Pat McAfee show now has NFL rights, and they showed that play. They got video rights now. They're moving on up in the world.
Oh, they shit is really blowing up.
Well, I just said it's over for any other NFL show because 1 million people watch this show and they never showed one video clip ever. And now they have whatever rights, and it's already changed the game. They showed that play numerous times, and AJ Hawk broke down every frame of it, and I'm on board with him. That was actually bad defense on that kid's part. You have to know with no one in front of you that tight end is going to come across, and if you watch it on repeat, he saw him, embraced for it.
Well, this is what I was going to say. He didn't use his fucking hands.
At all.
So, on Thibodeau, that is a rookie era, and he has to realize he is in the click-clack grown man league. He could have got away with that shit in in college where most teams were just afraid of him, especially those players on the opposite side. He's not in that. He's not in that league. And Moss, Thaddeus, is actually his second go round in the league. So he's trying to do whatever it takes because he knows how easy it is to not be here. So I actually don't blame him. It was legal. That and Thibodeau should have done better to protect himself. But, it's just that I don't want to see the young bull go down.
Oh, we don't want to see anybody go down, but the way that he approached the contact, it looked like everything that you always tell everyone, don't stop because you're going to get hurt. And he stopped and braced for it, and he cut him, and it was just like, now you got to put your hands and get your feet out. Like, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
That play happens a million.
Like, if they're going low, you push their ass down.
Yeah.
You keep stepping.
Yeah, you just step around them and push down. Like, everybody knows that move.
Could have taught him that move.
Yeah, like, Pee-wee football players know that move at this point, dude.
Yeah.
So, now the other thing they were saying, it's like the preseason, the running back had already, made it through the hole. There was no reason to do that. Nah, Thaddeus Moss trying to make a roster, goddammit. They got cuts coming up this week.
Fucking right. No, he did what he was supposed to do. Because how many times have we seen a freak D-end, let's just say Javon Curse, turn around and chase a play down? We've seen it. And you're like, holy shit. Defensive ends and linebackers in this league, I don't know if you know, are fucking fast.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Fast.
4 3s and 4 4s these days, 4 5s.
Are really fast. Yeah. I mean, they may not have the explosion out the blocks like a receiver or a running back or a DB, but once that caddy gets rolling, shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. The physics of the game has changed so much that you literally cannot have people hit the way that they used to because there's just too many injuries involved.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people don't understand. They're not making the game softer. The players are too big and too fast now. The physics of the collisions, they won't survive.
The workouts are structured in such a very specific way. You're working on core, balance, muscles that people don't even see. You don't see these muscles, but these are the integral muscles, structural muscles that makes your hit more solid, more violent once you make that contact. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's all timing too. People who know how to hit and who know how to not get hit. He just braced in all of the wrong ways. He planted his right foot and he was side perpendicular to him, and he put his shoulder down and he just went right into his leg, and it's like his cleats are in the dirt. It's going to get stuck.
I will say this: getting hit from the side was more fortuitous than getting hit straight on.
Yeah, because his cleats was stuck.
Because then that's your season. See ya.
Yeah, so I've been
lucked out. This is a tough lesson to learn, but hopefully he learned the shit.
Chargers quarterback J.C. Jackson had ankle surgery. He's going to miss the first 2 to 4 weeks of the season.
Okay. Not
bad because it's early in the season, but the NFL, you play a couple in-division foes early and then late in the season. So early, they got the Raiders to start, so you lose your number one quarter. It looks like Devontae Adams might have a pretty solid game in week 1.
Which,
I mean, Asante Samuel Jr. is going to be over there, but
with the pivot, you see that?
Huh?
You see the interview he did with the pivot? Oh, yeah. I like the way he's talking. He's just like, yeah, the situation here. He was like, the situation, it was almost like a comparison, like here versus Green Bay. He was just like, first of all, we got a lot of players who are on that type time, like the same type time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all closer in age. We're all like about this thing. He said also, I know for a fact Hunter's going to beat his man. I know for a fact Waller is not only going to beat his man, he may score. He was directly talking about the wide receiver core in Green Bay, which it was him, maybe Robert Tonyan, but then he got hurt. After that, the best receiver was Aaron Jones, who was the running back.
Yeah,
Then
they.
you talk about MVS for his speed, who was always hurt. And then you talk about Lazard, but more so for his blocking, and he was always hurt. So yeah, Devontae had to have 140 catches a season because he was the one who was always beating his dude. But in here, now he has. That's what we were saying before. Who are you gonna double? Somebody is gonna eat for real in Vegas, and I think at least two people gonna eat. But someone's gonna eat heavily in Vegas this year.
Well, speaking of Vegas and eating heavily, it's reports that they're going to cut Kenyon Drake, so there's an embarrassment of riches over there right now. So that's more of a signal of
he's recovering from his what did he have? He had an ankle, or did he have a knee?
something
He
that
had
something.
a lower leg.
Yeah, something that's always going to happen to him because he's just not very big.
Right.
And, it's not made but for a lot of collisions, but when you do get hit in the NFL, I'm telling you, the physics of it. And a lot of them that people don't understand, Carrie, is those hits where people, run into each other and then both just fall down. Those ones hurt worse than any of them because you guys just equaled out the physics.
Right. They don't understand, that means you come with almost equal speed and equal force. And if y'all are both coming with bad intentions, I've had that. I've had that at least one or two times in every level I played. I remember the first time it happened, they kept hyping up this dude, running back, who it was 4.3 speed, 4.3 speed. They kept hyping him. He gets the kickoff. I'm running down. I'm thinking he's going to try to make a move with all that speed. I guess he looked at me and thought I was an easy Vic. And then, boom, you heard it, stadium wide, boom, and then bam. When we got up, he was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, those ones.
You know what I'm saying? When you hit somebody so hard, you just got to be like, oh, all right, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, those ones really hurt because those energies don't get canceled out. That's not how physics work.
And what's worse is, because everybody loved to hit, your teammates are hitting you even harder upside the damn helmet. And I was like, you don't stop hitting me. Yeah.
I blinded my right eye. Thanks, guys. Yes. Yeah. I'm telling you, those hurt so bad, and they just don't look like. It's like in boxing, one of those shots to the head that doesn't look like a whole lot, and then all of a sudden they just drop. You're like, what the hell happened?
And then they slow it down, and it was a straight temple or a perfect chin shot. Also, okay, I don't know how big into UFC you are, but to build up to the Usman, the latest Usman fight, they showed Usman Masvidal too, and Usman hit Masvidal with such a vicious, probably the most vicious right hand I have seen another human being land on another. I'm talking about he got his entire body and most of his soul behind that punch, and he hit Masvidal square where you just saw nothing but sweat. He almost spun his whole head around, knocked him flat. He went down to punch him more, and you could already tell he was sleeping. He just laid there and was like, I'm done. The ref saved Masvidal's life. Saved his life.
Yeah, I saw the kick. Fifth round, final minute, knockout, upset. Pretty big. They have to have a rematch because the other dude was winning the fight too, so it's a one shot. But that's fighting. He caught him. He caught him with his hands were like this, and it went right. I saw it. I was like, because I watch a lot of boxing, man. It's the same thing. It only takes that one shot.
And UFC's so damn dangerous. That's why people boo when they're just trying to figure it out. Hell yeah, I would be trying to figure it out too, because they can get you any way. Foot, knee, super punch,
all that shit,
all of it.
All that boxing, it's only coming one way, so it's just that's why it's harder to get that one shot because it's only coming from the hand. So it's there's some boxers who just never get hit. So
and those who just find those angles. I just saw one, I forget his name. He's a young, good-looking black dude who's on the rise. He already has a belt, and he's just running through people. I mean, it's really too easy for him right now.
It's Terrence Crawford.
No, not Crawford. No. He doesn't have a name as big as Bud. No, Bud is major.
Yeah.
He's not part of that group of 5-6 boxers who are just studs. but he's like right under here where they're looking down. They looking at him like, okay, I see you, because he's gonna start. He's already like starting to call their names out. This dude he's quick, he's slick, he does not get hit. Like he has like body game, head game, like he knocked the dude out with a body shot, and the dude was like, he didn't even understand what happened to him. Didn't even understand.
So, Nick Young's out for the first 4 games of the year. Not Nick Young, Chase Young. Nick Young.
Oh, still jacking threes and still trying to get Iggy Azalea back.
No, Chase Young out for the first 4. Is still dealing with the knee injury from last year. So I just.
Is he going to be one of those guys who's just oft injured and just.
I hope not.
I hope not either.
Well, plus Ryan Kerrigan retired, so.
Yeah.
Things are going to look like a little bit difficult for Montez Sweat the first 4 games of the season. A lot of double teams there.
Jonathan Allen in the middle. There's still a lot of fucking Alabama.
Yes, but the biggest problem that they have is Carson Wentz is your starting quarterback.
Hell yeah.
Good Lord, good luck, Commanders. All right, so let's see what happened in week 2 of the preseason. Like I said, Tom Brady decided to walk out. Antonio Brown, the Bucs for like 11 games. I'm out. And those linemen getting hurt. I don't know if you saw Josh Allen, the one drive he got to play in this preseason game.
No, I actually DVR'd a lot of them because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to see shit because of the shit that I was finishing up. So I have about 9 games to watch.
Dude, he was in the pocket, up, back, spin, back leg 4-yard rocket for a touchdown. And just like, oh wow, the Bills are going to be really good this year.
Well, yeah, I know I got to do my research right now. Watch these games because next Tuesday, going down, sir.
Yeah, I'm hyped about this one. Head to head, we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Let's see what else. Malik Willis has continued to look really good. So what does that say for Ryan Tannehill with his late season shenanigans lately? Ryan Tannehill's still going to start, but if I have to imagine that he now has a leash, where he may not have had a leash in the last season and the season before. There's one on him now. It might not be short, but if Ryan Tannehill plays bad for a couple games, he might have to sit for like a third and fourth quarter of a third bad game in a row.
Listen, I've looked at Malik Willis. It's scary. Some plays, he really does look like Steve McNair, which is crazy. Like he is big, he's strong, he's agile, and he can let that thing go. And just that touchdown run he had a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh shit, that's Steve McNair. That's crazy.
Oh, see, this is a good bet right here, and I'm actually going to jump on this one. Right now on DraftKings, they have the season over/under on Ryan Tannehill's passing yards at 3,600 yards. I'm definitely going to take the under on that one. No A.J. Brown.
Hell yeah, I'm taking the under on that all day.
No, I'm literally going to, as soon as we're done doing this, going to go jump on that one because I still have free bets on DraftKings. And that, even though that's a season-long bet, that's a guaranteed one right there.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
That's nuts. They said, see, this is a good one. Same if you can get passing yard prop bets on money-making Mitch, who's going to be Pittsburgh's starter, because Kenny Pickett is going to end up starting and finishing the season. We just don't know when. So that's another easy bet to get because money-making Mitch he's probably going to start a couple games, if that.
I'll give him 7 touchdowns.
Speaking of that, Tyrod Taylor getting busy, looking like Tyrod, looking good, and then you know what happens? Danny Dimes gets in and looks efficient and good. I'm telling you, that's the solution for an ailing quarterback is let Tyrod start in front of you. We've been saying it for years. You have to believe us. It's worked every single place he's ever played at.
And also, if you're going to get confidence, build your confidence off of the 2s and 3s, sure. But when you get in there against the 1s, stop giving them the rock like that's what you're getting paid to do.
I mean, if this doesn't solve it, nothing's ever going to, and I don't think this will. I think Danny Dumbles is just that terrible. Tyrod Taylor, future as a quarterbacks coach or a quarterback guru,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Quarterbacks coach all the way.
That guy he has birthed more Pro Bowl quarterbacks than any quarterbacks coach in NFL history.
Absolutely.
And he's still playing. So
I trust him to show my QBs what to do. Absolutely.
All right, let's go to the news roundup and see. 53-man roster deadline is looming, so each team is going to be cutting about 20-some players throughout this next week. So a lot of players dreams are going to be crushed.
Bloody.
But with the practice squads being 16 players, a lot of these guys are still going to get jobs. But this is D-Day in the NFL. It's so many people. 32 teams. I think it's 22 or 23 players from each team got to go. So we'll just call it 20. That's 640 people that are about to lose their jobs in the NFL this week.
Man.
And let's be honest with you, about 540 of them they should never have had a shot. They were just camp bodies.
Yeah.
It is what it is. This is the highest level of football on the planet. There are some players who are going to get cut. You're going to be like, but they can play. Yeah, but they're very system specific. Tavon Austin got cut again.
Tavon Austin is actually who I was trying to think about the other day when I was talking about another WVU cat who took some time to get cooking, but still found his way on teams. He's definitely one of them. I actually think he will find another.
He will, because you can't teach speed. Movement in space and ball skills. So he has these. It's just they've never found a proper way to utilize him to what he was drafted in the top. It was in the top 10. And that's big.
Yeah, they drafted him with ideas that he was just going to be.
Well, when you run a 4.2.
Well, for sure.
At the combine, and then you have a game in college where you're playing Oklahoma and you have 300 yards rushing and you're a slot receiver. They just said, let's put him at running back this game, and you're only 5'7". It was just this guy's different, which he is. It's just the NFL's different. Everybody's different there.
It wasn't Percy Harvin.
Yeah.
Percy Harvin can do that in the league, not Tavon Austin.
Well, Percy Harvin could do that in the league because Percy Harvin was also 6'3", 220. That was a big dude. Tavon's my size.
He wasn't 6'3". He was 5'11".
Percy
Harvin, he was listed at 5'11", 5'11" and 3/4, but he was also 210, 215.
Yeah, well, they're all 210, 215. You have to be in order to handle the physics of it. I'll always talk about the physics of the game because it's so different. These guys are so big now. These defensive ends look like tight ends. They look like Shannon Sharp. It's just no, that's a D end.
See the difference. It was remember LeVon Kirkland? Remember how LeVon Kirkland was a freak because he was that big and that fast for a middle linebacker, and he was covering tight ends. They were like, how the hell? And he was a big dude.
Big dude.
He was 260, 270. He was a defensive end playing middle linebacker who could cover tight ends. And so now you think about someone like that, and now you just shrink that down to 255, add a couple more inches in height, make him 6'6", and who could just run 4.4s. Forget it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's nuts. And I saw a picture of Javon Kinlaw walking off the sideline, and he literally looked like a statue.
Right?
Yeah, and it's just that's a defensive lineman, and he looks that. This guy had an 8-pack.
Yeah, he's ready to win the heavyweight championship of the world in WWE.
Yeah, these guys are the big guys, and it's just when you see them without their pads, they are jacked and super cut. The athlete, it's just different. I look at it now, and it's just like, I'm glad that I played in the era that I did.
Yeah.
Because I could.
Yeah.
Because now it's just different.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have gotten bigger. Everyone's so fucking big now.
Like, right now, if I were to play right now, I would, like, instead of, you know how I went the other way, I lost 50 pounds. I would have kept those 50 pounds, you know what I'm saying? And I would have been adding on, you know what I mean? Because when I was my biggest, I was 230. So I would have actually wanted to add up to either 240, and I'm talking about, like, I still would have tried to just play, you know, safety. I would have been a big ass safety, but I died at 240, and now I'm thinking like, I could still play safety.
Yep.
I would have been strong. Yeah. So, and then with my speed and height, like, yeah. But I would have been thinking like that. I wouldn't have been thinking I need to like dip down. I would have kept that, and I would have just tried to maintain my speed and just get stronger and stronger.
Well, I tell you, I would have never
absorb those hits.
I would have never switched to defense in college. That's for sure. At this size.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hell nah. You would have had to Hunter Renfro that thing.
Yeah, 100%. No, I see. That's the thing, though.
Take your own routes. That's what we doing these days.
That's what I'm saying, though, Kerry. The way the game is now, I wouldn't have been forced to switch over, because now on offense, you're allowed to be this small and just work in space. And I would have totally greatest show on turfed it every time. Catch, get down, move on to the next play. Please. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, like, you know, the biggest reason, well, playing time was one, opportunity the other, but one of the biggest factors in switching from offense to defense was our starting corner was literally sending college football players to the hospital in practice from hitting them. And I was just like, man, if that guy catches me, I actually might not wake up. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you know what, there's one way to avoid hits like that is to dictate the collision, and I'm just ankle biting everybody.
But see, and that's the whole thing, and that's crazy, and that's also dope, because not everybody who plays football actually plays with a pro level talent. You did. I played with multiple pro level talents. You know what I'm saying? And it's different.
It's so different.
They're different. You know, when you're around them, the energy is different. The feel is different. You just know. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different ball game. Those were the cats who I worked out with all the time and, like, watched, studied. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? Not everyone gets that, and so not everyone understands that how huge of a jump it is to go from whatever level you are to then go to the pros. That shit is just vastly different.
See, this is why, I mean, you know somebody's different when they have a rule in practice named after you so that players don't get hurt. Nadel, you're not allowed to hit anybody. It's called the Nadel Rule. You're down when he touches you. Just leave it at that. I'm just like, are you serious? And then I saw him unload on our starting running back and cripple him, and I was just like, that guy plays corner? Whoa, he's definitely going to the NFL. And he did. He did. Of course he did. And then it's just, I had to go see Gronk play in person. And I'm telling you, that is the biggest football player I have ever seen in my life at any position. He was at least this much taller than everyone on both lines, and his shoulders were bigger, and he was playing tight end. I'm just like, this is the biggest. And then I thought to myself, 170 pounds at most, 5'7". That guy is 6'7", like 260. He's a foot taller and 100 pounds bigger. And that guy runs a 4.4.
And crazy athletic.
And right. Ultra athletic. Like,
listen.
What?
Like, being around Antoine Smith, right? Like, before he got to U of H, we had my man J. Rock, Jermaine Williams. We had Hollywood. We had running backs. And like J. Rock had against was it TCU? It was TCU. He had over 300 yards, and like it was, like we busted their shit because of him. The next year, Antoine Smith comes in, snags my boy's spot, but then we clearly see why. Like Antoine Smith almost won us. Was it the Meineke Care Bowl when we went against Syracuse and Donovan McNabb and like. I mean, they had kind of like a squad, but they had like a little bit of a down year, so we just ended up in the bowl together, and we were getting their ass because of Antoine, but then it was like McNabb was like, oh, okay, I'm done playing, and then let's go get it, and then like we just couldn't do it. But like there were cats on my team, there were certain cats that you were like, yeah, they could probably make it to the pros. Antoine Smith was on the team. It was like, oh no, he's going to the league. And not only is he going to the league, like he's going early. Like he's not gonna sit around.
Yeah, I mean, you always see there's a bunch of them like on your team. You'll be like, that guy's got a shot.
Yeah.
That guy's got a shot because that motherfucker he's got the physical aspects of what they're looking for. Like, all right, so you have to go through your like preseason combine in college, 40s, bench, all vertical, so you can see how much you've been working out and all that shit, like your measurables and all that. And dude, Dre Harris from Alabama, shout out to Dre. He ran his 40 in Tim's, man. This guy ran a 4.3 in Tim's, and he ain't even tie him. He was just like, yeah, fuck it. Ran like a high 4.3 in Tim's, and didn't tie him because he told me that at a track meet once in Alabama. Oh yeah.
Harp Diggler.
At a track meet once in Alabama that he.
Oh shit! Got the Skype name on that bitch.
That he ran 100 in a track meet in Tim's because he forgot his spikes. So that's why he was like, yeah, I don't care, I'll run in Tim's, I don't give a fuck. Okay, you knew he was going to run like a 4.3 anyway, so he's just like, whatever. He was also.
Where is he from? Because that motherfucker been running all his life.
Alabama.
Been running all his life.
Yo, he could standing flat foot, straight vertical, two-handed windmill.
That's crazy.
Like,
yeah, that's dumb athleticism.
That's why I said, like, you see the athletes, you're just like, what the fuck?
I had a naturally athletic build and lean to, but that athleticism is different. Like I was a worker. I had to work hard. Anything I attained and made happen is because I busted my ass in the gym and just like busted my ass. There's some cats who wake up and they just like, yeah, let me just windmill right quick. Nah, I wasn't one of them. I had to do my warm-ups and then, you know what I'm saying, and like make sure I felt good and then get my mind right. And then I could achieve some shit, but that's crazy.
Yo, Roger Harper.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you. I got your cape up.
Got it, the camera.
Oh, okay. I hit the camera's app. It's telling me to do something. It says grant access to your camera by clicking on the smart search field. I don't know what the smart search field is at.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm not.
At the bottom. Well, Harp Diggler's in the house, everybody.
Well, Kerry, I mean, I've told you before about Robin Charles, who didn't even start at Division II Fairmont State, left, went to Florida State, and then ended up on the 49ers. And it was just like, oh, how did this guy not start for? There he is.
There he is.
Nice hoodie, son.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I had to represent tonight.
Nice.
R.I.P. Rest in peace, P. 333 representing.
Only merch I got is white beaters. It's the only merch I got. I ain't got no merch.
Yeah, I gotta make some gray matter hoodies. But yo, Roger Harper, whenever you were a freshman at Ohio State and you first got there, was there anybody on the team that you were just like, yo, this guy, when you got there, was like, yo, this is different. This is
Absolutely. Y'all remember the motherfucker Lonzo Spellman?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his
Big number 90.
Yeah, 99. His knuckles drugged to the floor.
Yeah.
He was 6'8". You talking about 275 straight. Just a massive human being. Just unbelievable. That was a monster.
Yeah. We were talking about guys who, like, because Joe played with a guy who made it to the league. I played with multiple people who made it to the league. Not everybody who plays this game plays with people who actually make it to the league, so they don't know what that looks like. And I was just saying how it is it's just a different feel, and you can see it, like you see it and you feel it every time they step in. Like, oh yeah, they going to the league, and like you can't even tell me different. Like when I was at U of H, like my boys, I had like some boys playing running back, and then who like getting busy. And one of my boys, Jermaine Williams, J-Rock, who actually he played for the Raiders and the Chiefs. He was there with Dante Hall and them. Antoine Smith came the following year, and then it was just like, oh shit, this guy is just like this guy is changing the whole complexion of our team. Oh yeah, he's definitely going to the league. And then, as you know, like they got him in Buffalo to try to replace Thurman, but then he really hit pay dirt when he went to the Pats, and he should have been the MVP of that Super Bowl. Like, nobody can tell me different. Not just because I know him, but like I saw the game. Like, he should have been the MVP.
Yes, for those of you guys who don't know, Roger Harper went to Ohio State, so Ohio State's got to be different because when you get to Ohio State, everybody there is just like, all right.
Everybody expects to make it to the damn league.
Yeah, which one of us ain't making it to the league, you bums?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's
all we talked about. Who's going to the league, and we go to school. We was at Ohio State to play football. We was like, shit, fuck school and all that shit. So some guys had to go back and get it done. But yeah, football was the main focus.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger Harper. We had a guy. I think it was my sophomore year that came in and ran his combine in Tibbs and ran a 4.3. It was just like, see, that's what I'm saying. There's just levels to it. And, that's why the game is so different now. Roger Harper, you can't play the way that you used to because guys are 6'5", 250 running 4.4s, both of them. And when you both run and hit each other at that, you're both not playing football anymore. So
yeah, that's dangerous right there.
And plus these players, they're huge investments now. It's $200 million contracts that players are getting. You can't get them hurt and not playing football. So it's
all about money. It's all about scoring now. It's all about plays fast. The game is faster now. You know that. And again, it's about those guys making money. The teams making money. It's all about the money, man.
Roger Harper, could you ever have seen yourself wearing a Guardian cap?
Nah, that looks crazy.
You know what you maybe Harp Diggler.
Yeah,
must be funny. That's turning him out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Must be the money,
Yeah.
man. That Dion video was so damn funny, but also I was feeling it though. That shit was smooth as hell.
When I was playing during that time when me and Dion was playing, me and him used to argue. I used to talk about Public Enemy and hip hop groups back in the the 90s and shit. He swore up and down on the MC Hammer, man.
MC Hammer, yeah, because he was so Hammer style. It was like just wanted to be playing with it. Like, come on.
Oh man, that shit used to be funny, man.
Dion probably listen to the Migos now.
Oh
But,
man.
cause especially that was that West Coast vibe that Hammer, Oakland, he had that whole shit. I mean, he was the more polished Mac Dre. You know what I mean? Like but Hammer was still about that action. Let's not be silly. I mean, he dressed in in like the Hammer pants, but he was definitely no punk. But he made a lot of motherfuckers some money. So let us not diss MC Hammer. He made
no, I never dissed him. Never dissed him.
Yeah, he made a lot.
I promise we used to argue, go back and forth about, with hip hop, real hip hop,
Real hip hop, yeah.
And he was rocking that, the rap music came out with that 95 South and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I ain't gonna hate on Uncle Luke neither. You know, Luke was the man too back in the day.
The
He
man-
still is. Fuck that.
Yeah. Hey, and it was because of him that we could say what we say in these
That's
theories.
right.
And that's why he went to court. So Uncle Luke, very important in this whole game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't poo-poo any of these cats, because without them, there wouldn't be the money and there wouldn't be the free speech that you have in this game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mad for it.
The shit that goes on now, Dion and Hammer started that shit. You know how the rapper would be with the rap, you know, with the rapper with the athlete type of shit. That's exactly what it
He
is.
had them on the sidelines. That was Dion who did that, and everybody wanted to be Dion. So then they all did that shit.
Well,
Hell yeah.
that whole era of sports, because that was also the Fab Five era. So like sports
Oh,
teams
hell
becoming players becoming mega celebrities had just really jumped off. Mike had just made it like a thing, like and that's another one. I know every single player, coach, and person at that combine when Dion showed up, got out of the limo, walked in, ran a 4.2, walked right back out and got the limo. Just said, "Well, that guy's different." Shit.
I thought it was wasn't it a helicopter? I thought it was a helicopter.
Helicopter to the limo to the combine, walk in, run a 4.2, walk out.
Said I was running for like 3 to 5 teams. That was it.
I might have told y'all we was at we used to go to Fat Tuesdays on Fridays, football during school days and shit.
Yeah.
You know, we watching Dion on the big screen playing baseball. He flies in the next day and plays a preseason game with us. It was off the chain, man. That was some shit.
And I mean, and Dion was no slouch in baseball.
No,
like, he had a good career in baseball, actually.
Yes, he
Like, he
did.
does not get enough credit for that. I know Bo Jackson was just a fucking comic phenomenon, like no other Bo. But Dion did it, and he actually had longevity in both.
Mm-hmm.
And he made a difference, especially in football, but he made a difference in both. Dion was no slouch.
Nah, and plus when you're that fast, that quick too, stolen bases all day long.
No, I can't lie. One of my favorite television moments is when Dion kept dousing Tim McCarver, because all that shit Tim McCarver had talked on him, and then Dion was like, "Oh yeah, let me cool you down. You've been hot on me lately. Let me cool your ass down." I love that shit, because Tim McCarver's one of those dudes who used to talk a lot of shit, a whole lot of shit. We don't have to get into what kind of shit, but Tim McCarver, I see you.
Yeah, see, Bo was different, because you guys could go look it up on YouTube. Bo making and this is post hip injury, Bo making a over the shoulder outfield catch and then running up the wall for 4 steps and then running back down. I don't care how good of an athlete you are. I don't know how many people would even do that in that moment, who's just like, "No, I'm just run up the wall and back down."
He's an alien.
See, this is funny, because when they have all those polls about greatest athlete of all time, Bo's always number 1.
That's one guy. That's one guy I wish could make it into the Hall of Fame. I swear to God, that guy.
I know. Like, seriously, like, Bo, like, we all, what was that motherfucker's name? Darrell Williams for the Bengals, 57. On that like, he robbed us of the majesty of Bo Jackson. Like, no one had ever seen that. There was Jim Thorpe way back in the day, right? But who saw Jim Thorpe? Jim Thorpe was excellent at all sports, but Bo Jackson, we saw Bo Jackson, and that was unlike anything we have ever seen ever.
I've never seen.
Also, fucking charisma. Like he had the entire thing. I mean, he was doing commercials.
So I've seen players do the over the leg snap. I've never seen another baseball player
Over the head.
Roger Harper, how did you just do that? How did that?
I don't know what I
Oh, you
did.
put us into a whole.
I did that.
How did that happen?
We went to Central Park real quick.
I can't see y'all though. That's what I was trying to do. Y'all can see me though, right?
Yeah, man.
I can't see y'all, man. It's fucked up.
Well, I got your jersey on, homie. So
That's what's up.
I was like, what the fuck was that? Anyway, never seen any other athlete break a bat over their head with ease. He didn't slam it. He just snapped it.
Right.
And then I've also never seen one that, I saw one where he just broke it. Like a twig.
Oh, he did.
He didn't use leverage. He just was so mad. He just snapped it. I was just like, see, that's a gorilla. That's like a silverback gorilla strength for real. He was faster, stronger than everyone, and he never worked out.
He hunted.
He hunted and carried dead animals.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? Different. Just different. Same thing when I went to live and watch the golfers. These are professional, world's best athletes, dude. Of course, they're hitting it a fucking mile with no effort and just a whole different level. So, Roger Harper, did you see the Tom Brady news that's been going on?
Yeah, out for 10 days for personal
Yeah, it's
reasons or something. Anybody know any details?
well, there was a rumor that he was actually on the show The Masked Singer, and that's why he was out, which is hilarious. I hope that's true. I hope that's true. So funny.
What?
The Masked Singer.
Oh, wow.
Hilarious if that's true. But I'm thinking that I heard a report that they had scheduled a family vacation when he retired last year, and then he just unretired, and Giselle was like, nah, fuck that shit, we're going on this vacation. So he had to go on vacation. Not a bad thing in the middle of camp. I'm going to go to, the south of France real quick to the beach. I'm out.
He's the fucking goat. He can do what he want to do, for real. He done proved his point. He ain't got to do shit else but just show up on game day, for real. We call him fucking Iverson. Fucking.
Yeah, if there's any player in any sports history who could be like, nah, bro, I'm out, it's Tom Brady.
Exactly.
Because it's not like he's still chasing a ring for Tampa. He came in and did that immediately. It's like, I'm out. If you want me to play this season, I'm out. He pulled a Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman told the Bulls, like, yo, I got to go to Vegas and wild out for like a couple days, man. And they're like, yeah, go do you.
Listen, it was D-Rod who saved their season when Pip decided to get surgery in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
They forget how many points D-Rod was dropping while also grabbing 18 boards a game.
Yeah.
And like being Jordan's number 2.
Well, I do know that they remember that Mike had to go get him in Vegas and be like, yo, man, it's been enough. We got to go play basketball. Like, come on, dude.
He had to drag him out the club or some shit.
I will say, though.
With Electra and
Yep.
somebody else.
Yeah. I will say, though, one of the funniest skits I've seen of all time on IG was someone who was doing Dennis Rodman as he was doing Last Dance. Holy shit, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because Dennis Rodman on Last Dance looked like a maniac. And he was talking like he didn't even know English anymore. It was amazing.
So, speaking of Dennis Rodman news, hilarious segue. Did you see that he was trying to go to Russia to go get Brittany Griner back?
Wow.
Well, let me tell you something about D-Rod. He will go to North Korea. Right? He don't give a fuck.
He did go to North Korea.
And hang out. And like have an amazing time. He can do shit like that. He's just that dude.
Yo, see.
I didn't know his daughter was a professional soccer player.
Yes.
Yeah. The daughter he was always crying over on Oprah.
Yeah, I just seen that this week. It popped up. He popped up at one of her soccer games or some shit. So that's how I found out.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I mean, Dennis Rodman is one of those people that, like, no matter where he goes, everybody's going to be like, oh, shit, it's Dennis Rodman.
Yo, still to this day, he will not be Malcolm Butler in Massachusetts. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Roger Harper, we were talking about Malcolm Butler is, like, he is going to fade away and even Patriots fans' memories to just, he's going to have to tell people that he's Malcolm Butler in Boston. in a couple years. Like, yo, they're not gonna let him in the club. He's gonna be like, yo, I'm Malcolm Butler, yo. And they're gonna be like, who's that? It'd be like some young bouncer who doesn't even remember that Super Bowl at all. He's probably 8 years old when it happened.
That's what I was saying.
That?
He's entering that special Larry Brown territory. Like you had that one great game in the most important game, but what have you done for me lately, baby?
It wasn't even one great game. Larry Brown had 2 plays that went his way, and one game. That mother Neil O'Donnell literally threw them both right to him. Here you go, run that back.
Really did.
Everybody in the planet was just like, who the fuck is this guy? He gets a Super Bowl MVP and then gets a mega deal for the Raiders. It just disappears because he was never any good. It was one game. The Raiders are the worst. So, Roger Harper, let's talk about that now that you're here. I don't know if you saw this other Tom Brady story. So, apparently when Tom Brady was a free agent, he was so close to signing to the Raiders that he was house hunting.
Wow, I haven't heard that at all yet.
And Gronk was going to go with him. Now, Gronk confirmed all of these facts and said, yes, this is all true. We were going to go to the Raiders. And then John Gruden, at the last minute, said, nope, we're not doing this. We're sticking with Derek Carr. Now, knowing John Gruden and Tom Brady, who was going to get part ownership in the Dolphins, going to Vegas and whatnot, I don't think John Gruden wanted to give up any team social power to fucking Tom Brady coming in the building. Because if Tom Brady comes in the building, you're not the man anymore. I don't care who you are, unless you're Belichick. That's the only guy who could alpha him. And Belichick can only do that in New England.
Mm-hmm. That would definitely been his team.
Yeah, so that's hilarious that John Gruden fucked that up for the Raiders.
Wow, dumbass.
Yeah.
Raiders have been sitting on the championship right now.
Tom Brady done fucked them out of 2 championships. The Tuck Rule and now this one, Roger Harper. They got to hate this guy.
That's about right, shit.
That's crazy, though, that John Gruden he fucked up his time with the Raiders that bad. You know, Kerry, how many years did he do that? Was it 2 or 3?
Gruden?
Yeah. It was only
2.
Yeah, it was only a couple, right? So it was a 10-year deal, $100 million, I think, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And
million. He only got through 2.
He didn't even make it through 2.
Yeah, barely. Yeah.
So that's incredible. And then the Raiders. So this is crazy. So I saw the odds today. The Raiders to win their division have the lowest odds to win in their division. And I was just like, that's kind of nuts because they went to the playoffs last year, didn't have Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams, and they had the whole Chucky thing over top of their head with an interim coach, and they still went to the playoffs. So that's a pretty solid team. That's how I looked at it. So that's another safe bet right there, or at least a profitable one if they hit, because they were like plus 700 to win their division. I was just like, how are they 4th when they went to the playoffs last year? And the Chiefs are, like I said, the Chiefs are taking a step back. The Broncos are going to be, dude, they have an unlimited amount of funding. How many people are going to go to Denver now to play? You got a guy with $63 billion as your ownership.
Well, the Sweet Chiba is legal. You got Wally World, any Wally World in the world you want to go to. You know they got money. You know, it is a beautiful scene. I've never been personally, but I've seen postcards. So I don't know.
So
I mean, get to the whole high altitude thing.
Yeah, I know, but what we learned in the off season, at least
Vegas and LA very quickly.
Yeah, but what we learned in the offseason is how the NFL salary cap actually works, and the cash over cap thing is a thing. So that's why not every player gets guaranteed money, because the guaranteed money has to be put in escrow. Right. So whoever has the most cash over cap can just literally buy everybody that they want. There is no salary cap for them.
Yeah.
So, somebody signs a $300 million deal, that owner has to have $300 million in cash that he puts in an escrow account to guarantee, because it's a guaranteed contract. It can't be touched. You can't just leverage that and pay him with future money. That's not how it works. So the Broncos can give everyone, all of their contracts can be guaranteed money to everyone. They can buy whoever they want.
Good.
$63 billion, Kerry.
They could be Yankees West Coast.
And it's not like he's going to start losing money. It's Walmart.
Walmart just makes, they print money.
Yeah, so it's just like, all his family members.
And the new TV deals, the way they structured it with the whole niggity blang blang, they're going to make even more money.
Kerry.
We talked about how they've made, just from buying the Broncos, they've created 5 other streams of income just from buying the Broncos.
Well, also, we mentioned it last week that they made a deal with Amazon or whatever to stream. When you buy TVs at Walmart, you get free NFL Sunday ticket and shit.
And this is what I'm saying. That's how from just buying the Broncos, they have created multiple streams of income just from that one person.
Roger Harper, I guarantee you, if you go into Walmart in Columbus, Ohio, it's going to be mad Bronco stuff in there this season.
Because the Walmart deal.
Well, he owns them now. So, you also have to think, it's not only his money. All his family members have like $50 billion. So there's an unlimited amount. And this is, Roger Harper, we talked about, this is going to change ownership in the NFL. You're going to see people like Bezos is going to buy a team probably. People like that who have, Elon Musk probably going to buy a team, put them on the moon or something retarded. Unlimited amounts of money, because the other teams who don't have this money that they can give guaranteed contracts aren't going to be able to compete in free agency at all. You're just going to have to draft all your players. Then you're not going to be able to keep them because you're just not going to be able to pay them like these other teams are.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably gonna, like the NBA does. They all got the corporate sponsor or something on there. I know they paying for that advertising. They probably partner up with a business like that so they can pay guys.
Well, see, that's why the Bengals are starting to make money. They have a practice facility. Their stadium's now not Paul Brown Stadium anymore. It's got a corporate sponsor, which allowed them to build their indoor stadium. So, like, Joe Burrow comes to town and starts building Cincinnati like Peyton Manning did to Indianapolis with the Colts, because that was not a football town when Peyton Manning got there by any means whatsoever. And then they built a new stadium. It's Peyton's place because of him.
They were still Baltimore.
Yeah, so Burrow's doing the same thing, but you have to be able to do this now. So there's going to be, you might see some owners that don't have the capital to compete sell their teams in the next coming years, because there's no way they're going to ever be able to compete with these people, because the salary cap doesn't actually exist for people who have money. The salary cap is only for people who don't have money, because that's like money that you're loaning out, essentially, is what I'm learning. You're going to get paid this much money as we go along, because each game we make this money and then we pay you your game check. Right? It's not now guaranteed money. It's just like, no, I get $100 million up front now, $20 million a season for whatever. This is guaranteed no matter what happens, including injury. So if like Al Davis or Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, he's the only non-billionaire owner in the NFL. Like, he's not even close, because that's a family-owned team. He's had that shit forever.
His daddy.
So he's financially can't really compete with the new way that contracts are being made. Look at the Cardinals. Look how much money they just gave Kyler Murray. This is only the beginning. These are $150 million guaranteed. Deshaun Watson got $230 million guaranteed, and they knew he was going to miss this season essentially. So the game has changed now. The NFL is the biggest business in sports. You looked at Shad Khan went and bought the Jags. You're going to look at other foreign entities looking to buy NFL teams, because the way the NFL's always went, there were never teams for sale. Ever. The opportunity to own a team was like so limited that there was also a waiting list of people who have just done all of the networking and paperwork and all that shit and just waiting in the wings. So now it's different. So the Chargers might be up for sale because they're having money issues. You know, they're going to have to give Justin Herbert $500 million coming up soon. How are you going to, like, how? You know, like, they're having money issues.
This is what Baltimore is looking at. This is what Lamar is holding out for. He's looking to be the highest paid in the league.
See, Roger Harper, this is what I'm talking about. These owners that don't have the money to give the guaranteed money because it doesn't really, you don't have to play the season and sell merch to, like, yeah, we'll make this money, then we'll give it to you. They already have it. And if you're a player in the most violent league on the planet, where the average career is 3.5 seasons, yeah, I'm taking guaranteed money too. Fuck you guys.
Absolutely.
Because this team will go on without me, and this league will go on without me, no matter who I am. So get your money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's nuts, man. It's nuts how the landscape is changing, especially you get the Waltons involved. Jeff Bezos was already trying to buy the Raiders. I mean, I wanted to say the Redskins, the Commanders. He's trying to buy the Commanders, and they basically said no, but if they force Dan Snyder out of his ownership like they did the dude from the Clippers, Starling. Sterling. Yeah, if they force him out, then how can they not say no to Bezos, who can come in and be like, yeah, I'll give you $6 billion for this team. Because, see, so everybody was looking at the Broncos deal like they were going to get like $5 or $6 billion for the Broncos. They only paid like $4 for it, but you know why? It was cash in hand $4. It wasn't, here's a deal for $6 billion, we'll give you this much each year. It was here's $4 billion. Nobody says no to a pile of $4 billion, Roger Harper. You know, that's got to look like that shit in The Dark Knight when the Joker slides down that pile of money. Like, it's $4 billion. Like, they're not going to say no. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no contract work. There's no acts of gods.
We don't need layaway.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's
not it today.
It's changing. It's changing. So you're going to see, like, investment groups try to buy teams now because you're going to have that much money. So it's going to completely change the landscape, which it has to, because the NFL's generating so much money now that it has to change. It can't be like MMA where Dana White says, I don't care how much money we're making, I'm not paying these fighters more. He literally said it. I'm not paying. There's a set rate. They know what they're in it for. I'm not like, the golfers are all leaving and going to live because that's guaranteed money. It's happening in golf. That guaranteed money is changing the landscape. These golfers is like, yo, I'm out. I'm out. And Kerry, I talked about it before. Tiger Woods kind of fucked everybody up on that because the bar that he set is so ridiculously high that you can't shoot to be the best ever. You can't. Like, he's talking about, people don't want to build their legacy, Hall of Fame careers and all that. No, you put the bar so high, it doesn't matter. He was number one in the world for like 600 weeks in a row. It's 18 years or something stupid. So,
the one who then took his spot was BJ Singh. I remember that. And then I was mad. I was mad at BJ Singh. And BJ, and I didn't even have a right to be, because BJ has been like on the tour for years, and like he finally got some sunshine. But I was like, man, you the one who took over for Tiger? Like, anyone who took over for Tiger was going to get that work. But then BJ lasted for a little bit, and then Tiger came roaring.
Well, then VJ also got busted for performance-enhancing narcotics and whatnot, so
yeah,
that's the only way you could beat Tiger. But, as an athlete, that guaranteed money. Roger Harper, you're a professional athlete. Guaranteed money, yes. Where do I sign? Yes. Yes. Come on, please. The other sports are already like that. Baseball's been like that forever, to where like whoever has the most money is just going to be able to sign everybody. Football's creeping into that territory.
About time.
It is. It is.
In a sport, it should be football that gets the fucking guaranteed money because the fucking careers are this long.
Exactly.
Shit.
Well, you'll see. You'll also, as it starts to balance itself out, I believe you'll start to see shorter contracts in the NFL. You're not going to see 10-year guaranteed unless it's a quarterback, because some of these owners, it's going to sway the pendulum's going to swing the other way to where somebody gets signed to a mega deal and Allen Houston's that shit and they never play a game.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The market will self-correct. And yes, thanks for the reminder. The Allen Houston $100 million contract is one of the worst contracts of all time. And that money should have gone to World Beat Spreewell because he will Djokovic. So, yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
There's going to be someone who gets signed to a mega deal, and it's going to flop. It's going to be a flop opera. And then people will then temper their measurements. And then we know, like, we can see, like, giving it to Mahomes, we get it. Giving it to someone like Herbert, we would get it. If you gave it to Boy Band Joey, yes, we would get it. You know what I mean? There's just certain people we get. We understand that this is someone who's going to run this franchise and like do all the things. But like you have other guys who just like look at a Rich Gannon. No one would have predicted in Rich Gannon's career that he would be a multiple-time MVP, take his squad to a Super Bowl when he was a backup for the vast majority of his career.
Well, Kerry, I look at it, the pendulum swinging the other way is exactly the way the rookie contracts got out of hand.
Right.
You know, you're getting players that never played 1 second of practice in the NFL, let alone game, and they were getting like the biggest deals at their position, not guaranteed money, but their bonuses were guaranteed. But the biggest
signing bonuses were guaranteed, so everyone was fighting to get the biggest signing.
Yeah, and you were getting these huge signing bonuses, and these guys were bust.
And you walked into the locker room with veterans who have been in this game, and you coming in with more chips than them, and they looking at you like you haven't done shit. So of course they're gonna try to knock the damn snot bubbles out your nose.
Yo, how many quarterbacks did they go through? They got all these big deals and guaranteed money that were absolute garbage.
Marcus Russell, Achilles Smith,
so
Schuler.
The list is so long. Tim Couch.
Dick Myrer. I mean,
Tim Couch,
who was supposed to win 4 Heismans.
Yeah. Tim Couch was number 1 overall for the Browns their first year back and got so much so trash. So many of them so bad. So that's why you're seeing, circle back, that's why you're seeing the contract issues with Baltimore draw out so long, because they don't have that bread up front. And even if they do, they don't want to have to put $250 million in escrow.
But that's what it's going to take. And they know that they don't want to lose Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not only vital for that organization, but for that city, and they understand that. Like, you look at the makeup of that city, you want Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? So they cannot afford to lose him, but they just may not be afford to keep him.
Yeah, it's nuts. So, Tedford for the Rams was the richest owner in the NFL until the Waltons got involved, but he's got billions. Mm-hmm. So he's got I can play the new game. So you should see the Panthers like actually compete. The Rams, that guy's got Kroenke. He owns like a soccer team, a hockey team.
You got the hockey team who just won.
Yeah,
got them.
He's got.
What was it, Colorado Avalanche?
Yeah, he's got all of that, and then he also has assets that he can leverage to get the money, the cash needed to put in escrow and things like that, so he can compete and whatnot.
He's on speed dial with the money people.
Robert Kraft is a billionaire.
They're all friends.
Yeah.
They're separate network. That's a network we never will see.
So I'm thinking like you look at like the Steelers, where the Rooneys just own that team. They're not like businessmen. They don't like own steel mills or anything. Like they've owned the Steelers for their existence.
Or like the Mavericks with the G's.
Yeah.
Same shit. They just the Mavericks and the Tishes now. That's what I'm saying. It's like that sort of shit.
Yeah, we are seeing the NFL is going to change the way, and it's going to lay right into the 18th game guarantee, because they're going to be like, yo, we're giving you $300 million guaranteed. You're playing as many times as we tell you to.
And it's going to really need to be like, I mean, it's like we get it in the traditional families owning the teams and all that, but like the only way the G's can really, truly, truly break out of this thing is if you really have someone who is about that in that business life. They're about that shark life, like the Waltons, like these people who own corporations, and all they think about is how they can continue to win and take over something else. And I have this team. Now I got that. And I'm going to also have the best players. Are you think you're going to beat me? Like, no. Like, all they want to do is win. Whereas these traditional teams that are built from these families, it's like the family ethics and morality has to run throughout the team. And so it's like they're extended family members. Fuck that. Don't tell me I'm an extended family member and then fucking cut me once you think I'm not good for business anymore. Because then that's not family. So you're telling me it's family, but then you're showing me it's a business. So what you just need, like, we need to cut that family bullshit out and just say, this is a business. So I need some people who are sharks who want to get the best players all the time. Fuck that morality bullshit. Let's get the best players all the time who are going to show up, be available, so we can compete for chips every year.
So basically, when Aaron Rodgers retires, the Packers are going to be the worst team in football is what I'm viewing, because they don't even have an owner. How are they going to give players guaranteed money?
And you have Jordan Love as your backup, and you devoted to him. You're devoted to him.
Well, it's not only that. They just don't. How are you going to get players? Because guaranteed money is the name of the game now. They don't have an owner. How you get, like, where's the money coming from?
Packers fans who are part owners, it's going to be time to pony up. That's going to be the most expensive tax you ever paid in your life. If you're gonna want to get the players that you need to win chips.
Yo, it'd be hilarious if Elon Musk went up to Green Bay and said, "All right, all Packers owners, I will give you 10 times what your shares are worth," and then he buys the Packers.
Now see, now you make me wish I had the little Packers. Stop.
I mean, that would be hilarious because they're the only professional sports franchise that's run like this.
Could do that though.
Yeah, he has enough that he could do that.
Sure.
This guy's got $400 billion. Like, yeah, whatever. Was it going to cost me $10 billion to buy this team? Who cares? Whatever.
Sure. He's already in Texas, and Austin is not looking the way all that keep Austin weird shit. Yeah, Austin is Silicon Valley now, so there's like a little bit weird about this much weird. What you thought Austin was is not what Austin is about getting that bread and technology and shit. That ain't the same Austin no more, babies. So maybe South by Southwest. You go there that day, and that's it.
So Roger Harper, cut down day is coming soon. Mm-hmm. What was that like in the locker room when you knew, when like the locker room knows, yeah, about 20-something people about to go home today?
Well, some guys know they're going, some don't think they're going. You know, I was one of those guys when I was with the Cowboys and shit. I knew I was on the team, and shit, they came and got me, man. So it's a tough feeling, man. It's a bad feeling. Like, damn. Same thing when I was in Green Bay, man. You know, I'm thinking I'm gonna make the team. I'm confident and shit. Yeah, I got caught up in some political shit there. You know, my agent calling me saying, "Man, Roger, man, you gotta cut your hair, man." You know, I had some little dread trying to grow some. You know, it was crazy, man. It just, you never know, man. The shit ain't guaranteed for sure.
That's why I said that players get guaranteed money in this sport. Yes, you're taking it. Mm-hmm. You're taking it. Like, that's the whole point. And again, Tom Brady has raised the bar so high on being the greatest ever. It's just like, yo, go get your money and set your whole family up for like 100 years, because you're not going to be the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mike set it so high that even though LeBron has been able to do what he's been able to do, it's still you're still not going to be. There's too many of us alive to sway that opinion publicly. Mm-hmm. Like, we were there from Mike. We see how much better he was than everyone else. That's the difference. Yeah, LeBron is better. He's the best player on the floor. But when Mike was playing, he was like significantly better than everyone else.
Mm-hmm. And also, And not only just that, I hated that we just skip over Kobe during this whole thing. Like, we just go Mike to LeBron. Fucking Kobe had a whole fucking 18, 20-year career. Like, I'm not going to skip over Kobe like that. Like, and if you can claim anyone was the closest to Mike, it was Kobe. And like Kobe, it's like a fucking killer.
Absolutely agree.
Never used that word for LeBron. Now, respect to all his overall skills, but no one ever used that word killer with LeBron. And with Kobe, when Kobe walked on that court, you were just like, well, this man could drop 80 on.
You knew what it was when Kobe was on the court, boy.
So, what you used to say that Mike was the GOAT and then Kobe was the most skilled, that was how you justified Kobe not being the GOAT because
I would say Kobe was more skilled than Mike. Yeah.
Exactly, but now that LeBron has been in the league and done this and continues to be the most dominant force on his team, we're year 22 at this point. He's now reached the longevity, most skilled. He's the most skilled player ever now.
Yeah, most skilled, but as far as that heart goes, I got to go with Kobe. If I'm picking between Kobe.
Well, so Roger Harper, what I said earlier to Kerry was that
I'm with you.
Roger, that LeBron goes into the Tom Brady category of like longevity and achievements, and Mike goes into the by far the most skilled player of all time.
I could agree with that.
You know, at 22 years, like Mike's career was half of what LeBron's is. Like, it's gotten so long and so ridiculous that you now have to have a way to find a way to work LeBron into the conversation somehow. You have to, and that's Kerry. That's why he's kind of just slid past Kobe real quick because it was just like it's 22 years of this shit.
Yeah, he's got the numbers for sure, but still, there's a lot of people that agree with me and Kerry. We're going to go with Kobe over there.
It's a different temperature.
Yeah,
it's just a different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's why I said Kobe's the most skilled. He was more skilled at basketball than Mike, but that's not what we're talking about. It's like LeBron has now etched his way in there. Listen, I don't want to do this. I'm not one of these people, but it's just a reality.
I'll bust it down like this, right? So, yes, LeBron had that incredible stretch where he went to 9 straight finals, I believe, something like that, like 9 straight finals. The first, there was like he lost against Dallas, and then he won against a young OKC, and then had a Jesus Shuttlesworth moment that was able to beat San Antonio, but then he lost, and then he lost again, and then the Golden State era, and then he won another one, but then lost and lost and lost again and lost. So, but when Kobe, right? So we could look at when he was with Shaq, but then just think about him and Powell. The Kobe years, you focused on Kobe and you were like, yo, I remember that game 7 where he grabbed 18 boards. He couldn't make a fucking shot, but he grabbed 18 boards, and they needed all 18 rebounds in order to be able to beat that Celtics team.
Yeah, but you know what, Kerry? If Kobe,
he just gave you a different feel.
If that one series finals against the Celtics when Paul Pierce got him.
Yeah.
If that had not happened, then Kobe would have remained in that discussion because that never happened to Mike. And that was the one glaring example people could look at differently.
I will give you that, but also fuck with me on this. The Lakers had a history of losing to the Celtics in the finals. Kobe got that taste, and then what happened the next time did not happen. Whereas the logo never tasted that against Boston.
Well, see, this is where I look at Kobe in Tom level.
curse against Boston.
Yeah, Kobe and Tom level things because they're the only athletes that I can remember that lost in the finals and then the next year won a championship. Because usually you lose, you take a step back. They lost and then returned and got vengeance. It was crazy because the Patriots with Tom, they won, lost in the Super Bowl, and then won it. So they went to 3 straight Super Bowls during that run and won 2 of them. It's just, the whole Malcolm Butler see? The hoodie fucked up his life, man. We still don't know why Malcolm Butler didn't get to play in that game. Nobody has ever told that story.
He probably fucked Belichick's wife's sister. And then promised to call or text, didn't do it. And then Bill had to hear shit at home, and he was like, "You gonna cause me some grief, motherfucker? You sitting down."
Word. So, all right, Roger Harper. Next week, during our Gray Matter at 9:30, is our fantasy draft.
Tomorrow I'll be sending y'all some information. They sent the thing out today. Said they're sending it out tomorrow, so y'all be looking for that.
Hell yeah. So so next it's scheduled. We're gonna start at 9:30, and if anybody who's watching wants to join, there are still some open spots. So email me, and then I'll send you the links. But we're gonna have our draft live during Gray Matter, which is going to be hilarious. I'll figure out how to make it happen. It's on Yahoo, so you'll just follow the links and whatnot, and then I'll have the main screen up here or something. I'll figure it out. But we're going to do it live. It'll be hilarious. Whoever wins is going to win something. Unless it's me, then I'm not going to give myself anything. But as far as the NFL Pick'em, I am the 2-time defending champ, Kerry. I know you like that.
Yeah, I hear the bullshit you talking. No, but I'm not really acknowledging it right now.
I mean, this is just the reality of the situation.
I hear that. Yes. So far you've been the most successful, and I am the most talented. I get it. You are Aaron-ing me right now. I hear you, Tom.
I get you. That was very good. Very good. I like how you did that. So guys, as a total, we all pick above 650% though for the season, which is retarded. I think me and Kerry ended up somewhere closer to 70% last year, that's nuts. And then just think if week 1 didn't happen the way that it did.
Week 1 was so stupid. So angry. Still angry about that shit.
Yeah, so we got week 3, preseason this week coming up.
Yeah.
And then the next Thursday is Rams Bills.
Wow, that should be a game. Well, I'm really scrutinizing Matty's staff. Look, are you gonna turn into a Roethlisberger, or is this something you're gonna be able to overcome from past injuries you've been able to overcome? I'm really that's one of the burning questions of this year, because that could affect a lot.
It is going to affect a lot. I have no faith in him being able to take care of this elbow because they haven't gotten stem cell injections yet. They're not going to. So it's going to be an issue all season.
NFC West, that's going to affect a lot.
It's going to be a huge, huge issue all season, and I don't like it. But this is week 1. So he will get a cortisone shot right before the game. That'll last for a couple weeks. He will take some Toradol, guaranteed. So it's in LA because they are the defending champs, but the Bills are the betting and public's favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. The Bills add Von Miller, which is retarded. And then they add somebody on offense. Dalton Knox's brother didn't his brother just die?
I don't know.
Yeah, his brother killed somebody.
Well, I know Aqib Talib's brother killed.
There were a couple players that this happened.
Aqib Talib, his brother killed somebody, turned himself in.
Yeah, Aqib Talib also
damn youth football game, bastard.
Yeah, but Aqib Talib also resigned from his analyst job.
You know why? Because it was noted that Aqib Talib started the damn fight.
Yeah, he had something to do with it.
He did snatch somebody's chain during a game.
He's the one who put this fight. Damn, Aqib.
But no, so Dawson Knox's brother died, I believe, and then there was somebody else's brother in the league that just died also. But the Bills added somebody on offense too, but I don't know. Betting favorites on the Rams because they're at home. It's probably 3.5 or 2.5, probably 3.5 points. It's tough to not go with the defending champ in week 1, but they're also playing the best team in football, kinda. Like the Bills are like, as an overall total, coaching staff, team, cohesiveness, unity, everybody on the same page. They all have that Buffalo mentality and all that shit. They love being there. No players like mad because they're in Buffalo. This isn't the old Buffalo. They don't mind that it's Buffalo. They like this shit. They're jumping through tables and getting drunk with the fans and shit. So they are the best team in football right now as a team. They might not have the best roster because the Rams roster is so stupid. They've added Bobby Wagner and Allen Robinson. Like, you've added monsters on both sides of the ball to a defending champion.
And they've retained Aaron Donald.
Huge.
And Jalen Ramsey.
Huge. So see, they have the money to do that though, because that guy has he has a couple billion, so he can give Jalen Ramsey. Aaron Donald wanted to retire, but this guy comes up with a guaranteed money contract. Oh yeah, I'll come back and play. Shit.
And now we're looking at a Cam Akers who hopefully can have a full season.
So Roger Harper, it's like the only way that you were guaranteed money back in the day was franchise tag. You were guaranteed the average of the top 4 players at that position. It's the only guaranteed contracts in football were for one season. Now it's like getting franchise tagged for, Patrick Mahomes got 10 years guaranteed. So it's just like, oh, this guy's never going anywhere.
Exactly.
Darwin James just signed for 4 years. And his was, his guarantee was probably a huge percentage of it. The highest paid safety in NFL history. But like I said, it was only a 4-year deal. Why, as a player, would you sign a 10-year deal when you know the NFL is going to keep getting more streaming rights and more billion-dollar contracts, and the salary cap is just going to go up? So Roger Harper, 4 years from now, that Patrick Mahomes deal for 10 years, $500 million is going to look like a steal. Mm-hmm. You're like, damn, they're only paying Patrick Mahomes $50 million a year. This is nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Justin Herbert's out there making $85 million a year.
Which is why Lamar is doing the right thing, which is sad because it doesn't seem like he's going to end up in Baltimore.
So last thought I have is there were some ownerships who were lobbying the idea of a separate salary cap for quarterbacks because the deals are getting so outrageous. Like I said, some of these ownerships can't even compete for some of these quarterbacks because they don't have the money to put away for it. So they were trying to get the NFL to make a separate salary cap at a different structure so that they didn't have to give them all they're trying to find a loophole or build it into the players agreement, some way to compete with these ownerships, and they're not going to be able to. You're going to have multiple billions in order to win Super Bowls and compete. You can have a team, but that doesn't mean anything. And then also, if you don't have one yet, you're going to have a new stadium that has all the stuff now, because they all have them. You have to have all the stuff. Movie theaters, concert venues, restaurants.
You gotta have the things. You gotta have the stuff.
These are $5-10 billion stadiums. Who the fuck is paying for this shit?
They gotta be clubs, cabanas, okay, pools,
jacuzzis and shit. There's a
jacuzzis.
Five.
Those sparklers on those bottles, baby.
5-star restaurants and shit in the stadium, like.
We gotta have named chefs in those goddamn stadiums.
So the way that the stadiums are being built in order to generate these funds, and they're building a lot of suites. And Pat McAfee now has a suite at the Colts Stadium, and he was talking about it today. And it's a 20-person suite. There are 20 tickets per suite, and it's just like, I remember going into private suites in stadiums like the late 80s and early 90s. You were not fitting 20 people in those rooms. Those things were like offices, like little tiny, maybe 4 people. We weren't in like the ownership box or anything, but it's just like, they're different now. These things are like, you have food and a bathroom and like air conditioning and TVs.
There's food, there's bathroom, there's free drinks. You got multiple servers, not just one, multiple servers.
Inside and outside,
Yeah.
Inside, yeah.
I've been in these things. I've been fortunate to like be in these things, knowing some folks. It's just fucking different.
It's different, man.
Like, the security is different. The whole vibe is different. You're having a way different experience than everybody else in the arena.
What it's like is having a Super Bowl party at an NFL game, because you got the people who want to watch football, like Roger Harper said. You can go, there's glass. You can open it up and go watch the game.
Yeah.
And everybody who's there just to be there is back here eating food, drinking, socializing. And then there's also TVs with all the other games going on. And, it's nuts. It's nuts the way it is now.
And there's crazy situations happening in these rooms, because you talk about people with money, influence, yada yada, bing bong. So like, there's the game within the game that you have no idea what's happening in the same stadium. You watching a game, like we watch the same game is playing for everybody. There's a whole lot of different games going on in the arena.
Yeah, I will say that I never made it to the professional level of football in any way, but I did make it to the professional level of hip hop. And backstage is a thing, and backstage is now happening in stadium seating. Roger Harper, they got green rooms. There's a lot of bad things about to happen in bathrooms at NFL stadiums now. Horrible. All right, guys. So next week, draft time. Roger Harper, we will be anticipating hearing from you. I can't wait for that one. That's hilarious. I appreciate this year's entry into this again. I'm telling you, we're winning this year. We're winning.
Hey, if we win it, we going to the Super Bowl. They put that out there.
Oh, what? Oh, it's on. It's on, people.
To the Super Bowl, baby.
I haven't been to a Super Bowl yet, so
it's on. This is how Gray Matter makes it to the Super Bowl, because, we made it to the playoffs last year with Derrick Henry being hurt the entire season, and I still pulled it into the Final Four.
Yeah, you were doing your thing, trading, moving around.
God, I made, like, when he got hurt, I had to learn how fantasy football works, and I made like 9,000 moves in order to climb back up in there.
Hell yeah.
But
you gotta make moves.
Now I understand how it works, and the Super Bowl's on the line. We're going to the Super Bowl, and when we go, I'm wearing a Roger Harper jersey. All right, we'll be in touch, fellas. I appreciate it.
Peace.
All right, so the Skype wasn't the worst thing ever, but I appreciate it. You heard it. We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. I love it. I will see you guys Thursday for Beat Boutique.